Hello and welcome to Philosophy and Everything Else. We are finally at the end of our short survey of the world religions. With all that information or the lack thereof, if you were too lazy to go through all the surveys, or maybe you already have the basic idea of what the religions teach, let us examine the question that generated these videos from the start. Are all religions the same at their core? The question now has an obvious answer, but let's go through the slightly more complicated way. According to the survey that we have went through, it is obvious that religions do not have the same core at all. I mean, how could that be? How could God exist and not exist? How could we need to practice the Eightfold Path and be saved purely by grace? How is it possible that we go to heaven to be with God and that we are actually God as well? You see, if somebody wants to say that all religions are the same at their core, they have to deny that religions actually teach those things as their core beliefs. He or she will have to say that what religious people tend to think to be the core beliefs are actually not the core beliefs after all. They missed the point. Now, to be fair, it is quite common for everyday religious believers to be mistaken about their religion's core beliefs. I encountered some Christians who believe heretical views about the Trinity, some Muslims who think that the Quran needs to be revised, and Buddhists who worship the God of heaven. It is just too common for common people to have inaccurate beliefs about their religions. So it is possible we have been getting it wrong the whole time. Maybe the core of religions is simply to be an ethical person, to work for justice and peace, to love one another, to worship a divine being or something like that. Maybe. But at least I hope now that you see the point. In order to affirm that all religions are the same at their core, you have to deny what most religious believers and experts normally think to be the cores of their respective religions. Again, it is not automatically wrong, but it is the price that has to be paid. With this, we can understand why people who tend to think religions have the same core is either someone who doesn't understand religions that much or someone who actually understands religions but decided to deny the presumable core precepts of the religions. Well, is this the right way to take? I, for one, don't think it is the right way. I sympathize better with letting the religions speak for themselves rather than shaping the religions in the way we want it to be. It doesn't do justice to the religions to claim that what they deem to be core beliefs are just accidental precepts to be denied at whim. Somebody might object that religions are not static. They are living tradition and they transform according to the contemporary trends and questions. Sure, I agree wholeheartedly. Even so, there's still the question that rages between religious believers themselves if sometimes the accommodation has not gone too far to stretch the elasticity of the religion's identity. For example, imagine a Christian claiming that the Trinity is of no value, and even to the point that God doesn't exist. And another example is, imagine a Muslim saying that you don't need to proclaim the Shahada, that is, God is one and Muhammad is the true prophet of God. In other words, you can be a Muslim without believing in Muhammad and believe that we should worship Krishna as the ultimate God or insert any other gods you might want to fit into. Maybe someone says that you should trust in God to help you to get to Nirvana, where you can be with God forever. I hope we can see the point here. They are all absurd. Religions truly are not static. That has to be accepted. They are malleable because they are living traditions in contrast to dead religions who cannot change because they simply are, well, dead. However, there is a limit that each religion has, and I tend to think that the survey that I've given is precisely a survey of the cores, that is, the defining beliefs of the religions surveyed. Someone else might object that religions do not teach truths about the world, but only a way of living. Since the core beliefs are not truths, you are free to believe or disbelieve or shape it in the way you want it to be. I don't agree. Why? If that's the case, we also do what the previous objector did, namely, shaping the religions according to our own whim. To see that, think about this. If what religions teach can be shaped according to what we want, then religions are no more than fiction. And if religions are fiction, then we should really take pity to people who truly believe their religions as teaching the truth. Not only that, we should perhaps help them realize that their beliefs are misguided and need to be reshaped according to what we think is right. Imagine the religious believer retorting, "Who are you to say what my religion is actually teaching? On what basis you think that they are just fictions and not the truth about the world? Why should I believe you rather than Muhammad or Buddha or Jesus?" Those are valid questions. I, for one, have an answer, but it might not be the most popular. I think we should judge religions according to the truth and falsity of their claims rather than what we want them to be. Since religions do seem to teach the truth of the world, and because their beliefs cannot be true at the same time, then some of their beliefs must be false. It is a simple logic, really. If there is a flat earther meeting with a round earther, then either one of them is right or both of them are wrong. You cannot have the earth is flat shaped and the earth is round shaped because they are contrary truths. If someone says that I don't exist and another says I do exist, then it is necessary one of them is right and the other is wrong. It cannot be that both are right, nor can it be both are wrong. Why? Because the question only has two possible answers, and the two possible answers are contradictory if they were true. The two answers cannot even be both false, because contradictory statements cannot both be true nor be false at the same time. Think about it. If it is false that I do exist and I don't exist, then whatever is the case about me? If it is true that I do exist and I don't exist, then what does it even mean? It is a simple truth of logic. Contrary claims can be both false or only one is true. Contradictory claims can only have one truth but not both true or both false. This is in a sense a simple question, but it can escalate rapidly. I tried to keep it as simple-ish as possible. To summarize, the religions are not the same at their core. It is easier to believe that all religions are false or only one of them is true, than believing that all of them are true at the same time. If you think the core of religions is different than what I outlaid, you have to pay the price of denying that all of the claims religion make are truthful in any way, a price I am not willing to pay. Thanks for listening. If you haven't, please subscribe and turn on the notification for possibly new videos. Thank you.